Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Josie with Awakened Soul, and we're here for a reading about the person on your mind and your connection to each other. Wally says hello everyone, and by the way, I hope you're having a beautiful day or night whenever you're joining in. If I didn't already say that, Mr. Wally B has distracted me. Anyway, in today's reading, we're going to be chatting about your person's honest and deepest thoughts and feelings about you. We're going to get started with the oracle cards that I have pulled for us. After that, we're going to dive deeper using the tarot as well as channeled message cards. Later on, we will also get to the astrology dice, tiles, and charms. For extra confirmation and insight, you may see their specific zodiac placements or yours, possibly their name or initials or important words or symbols for the connection. So we will get to that later on. And then to seal off today's reading, we will also be pulling a couple of messages just for you. Doesn't have to relate to your person or the connection at all. That's to help you reset your energy and bring the focus back on yourself at the end. So I highly recommend sticking around till the end. I do not believe we will be doing an extended for today's reading, but I do them very often. So if you're the type of person that likes extendeds or exclusive readings you can't find over here on YouTube, I invite you to check out my Patreon and or my YouTube membership. They have different readings on both platforms. There will be a link below in the description box where you can head straight over to either or both. So, okay, you guys, let's get into the reading. First up, we have the crone, the unseen, the queen, and the vow. We have oyster, octopus, phoenix, and peacock. This is also the root chakra card of this deck. We have blessings and we have hope. And they drew my eye straight up over there to that rainbow. So rainbow imagery could be important to the connection. I'm now noticing it here on the top of the octopus's head, as well as kind of in the unseen card too. That's very rainbow-y as well. So that could be a significant symbol. And honestly, rainbows do represent hope. So I'm wondering if the artist of this card did that intentionally. Anyway, so carrying on, your person's deepest and most honest thoughts and feelings about you. First of all, they feel like you are very mystical, okay? I don't know if you are psychic in nature, possibly specifically clairvoyant or clairaudient, maybe both. But they feel like you have some sort of knowledge that the average person does not, almost like you're tapped into a different radio frequency. I don't know why they're phrasing it like that, but that's how it came through. You're very tapped in and you're tuned in, and you can see and interpret things that the average person cannot. I also just heard the word medium, so it's possible maybe you have the gift of being a medium as well. They're actually calling me to like read an excerpt from this card, and I don't know why, but I usually don't argue with my divine team when that happens. And funny enough, this was in the drawer right beside me. I don't have the big guidebook anymore, you guys. It got destroyed in the flood. So I only have like the mini guidebook that came in my mini archetypes deck. And it's funny because the crone is the top card. So interesting. Maybe I should also read an excerpt from that for us as well. But okay, we're going to chat about that real quick. And then we're going to carry on with the rest of the reading. So give me a moment here. Also, by the way, if you find yourself resonating with the message at all here today, make sure to hit the like button to let me know, and subscribe. Really helps me continue to put free readings out on YouTube for you guys every single day. Helps my channel continue to grow as well, and I would really appreciate the support. Okay, so right here we have the unseen, just as it sounds, is something we cannot see, yet it sees us watching and waiting with wisdom, both kind and instructive. That's interesting because the crone also talks about this. The crone has a very neutral energy. It understands the divine contrast of the universe and how everything works, how we can't have light without dark, we can't have dark without light. We need that contrast. It's just a part of creation and existence. This is hinting at that message as well. Okay. The energy of the unseen may come in many forms: a compelling dream, a sudden insight, a clear voice, a vision, or a message from a loved one who has passed to the other side. And that's actually very interesting because I talked about like being a medium earlier, and I did not connect the dots, you guys. I don't memorize all of the excerpts from every single card in this deck. I just do not have that type of like photographic memory, but it's interesting that that message channeled through, and then I felt called to read this. So that could be confirmation for some of you if you feel like you have that type of gift. That is a territory I do not tap into myself. I get a really iffy feeling about it. No shade if that's something you do. I just was always taught growing up to be very careful about like not trying to communicate with the dead because you don't know who you're communicating with. So I always have to give that forewarning. But anyway, continuing onward. It is natural to fear these communications as they challenge our perception of what is real. When this card appears, your guides are near. The eternal is present. Yada, yada, yada. And this does talk about clairvoyance, okay, as well as clairaudience. So yeah, you could definitely receive divine guidance in one way or another, and your person definitely believes you if that's the case. They believe something's going on, even if they don't have the same religious or spiritual beliefs that you do. They feel like you're in some sort of divine communication, particularly if you've talked to them at all about the concept of soul contracts, because with the vow here, we don't just have messages of like literally speaking vows to one another. I mean, if this is your spouse or somebody you believe could be your future spouse, definitely take that message. But this also talks about like contracts we form with self or other even before we incarnate. So if you've talked to your person about soul connections or soul contracts, it's quite possible that they believe you or they see evidence of that in their life connected with you now. So again, they believe you're divinely connected to something higher than yourself, okay? There's also, I just heard bitterness. Don't come at me, please. It's not coming from me. They may sometimes feel like you can be a little bit, again, you're contrasted. There's like two sides of you that come out. You're either sometimes very cold or like up in the clouds, I guess you could say. And then the other side of you is very warm, very inviting, very, I just heard blessed. Okay, so your person sees a contrast within you as well. There's like a couple of different sides to you where you're very warm and inviting towards them one moment, and then the next moment you can sometimes be a little bit bitter or cold, or that's their perception of it, even if that's not your intention. It could be that maybe your mind is just elsewhere and that's a projection, okay? But keep in mind that came through, and now they're showing me the hands here. We have a hand holding this crow. We also have a hand holding a snake. And then up here we have two hands holding each other, releasing a bird, which is like, I feel like that's a powerful message. It's almost like your person finds you to be very busy. Like they might not be your top priority all the time. Your priority would likely be on your own journey and your own growth. And honestly, I feel like that's a good thing. We should be our own top priority. Like our connection to God, to the divine, and to, you know, growing and learning more about ourselves should be our top priority. And, you know, relationships of any kind are sort of like icing on that cake, right? We should always have a goal of coming into a relationship already being our whole healed self, if possible, or at least, you know, moving in that direction. It's not like you have to be perfect to be in a relationship, but focusing on your growth, your journey should always be a top priority, right? This person also believes you to be a big blessing in their life. Like you've given them hope to keep moving forward in life. You give them a lot of inspiration. You can see things that they can't see. And so I do think sometimes they look at you for that hope and that inspiration to keep moving forward, to keep striving to be their best. They feel like you're very precious. Inside the oyster is a pearl, and pearls are formed through grit and irritation that forms slowly over time. So chances are you've been through a few cycles of rebirth, right? Phoenix energy, rising from the ashes, rising from negative experiences and choosing to grow through the chaos. And your person can see that you try to make the best out of any situation that comes your way. And they also find you to be very beautiful and very attractive and very, very smart, okay? I love that the octopus has like its mind lit up, essentially. I don't think that the actual brain of an octopus is in its head, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong. I know some animals' brain is not even in its head, but nonetheless, I digress. But symbolically, it's saying that your person feels like you are definitely an overthinker. You're very much in your head. But in a good way. You're very smart as well. You're intuitive, you're wise, and you're also very intelligent. You probably have a lot of wisdom beyond your years that they appreciate. And again, they find you to be very, very attractive. You're beautiful inside and out. Okay, so we're going to get into the tarot now. Boop. There wasn't anything showing on that mermaid card, but I always just try to like, I have the phrase better safe than sorry. That's like my motto sometimes in life. I'm going to take a sip of my water real quick, you guys, before we get into the tarot. So give me a moment here, please. And where did I put my tea? I swear I got myself a glass of tea earlier and it's just gone. I hate that, you guys. I'm the worst with that. I annoy myself on a daily basis. Where like things just vanish, I swear. Like I'll have something in my hand, I'll go get distracted with something else, I'll set it down somewhere, and then I spend like 10 minutes looking for the original thing. Like my phone, I do it all the time, or my like drink or snack or pen or whatever it is. I do that like seriously like 10 times a day, and I annoy the crap out of myself with that, to be honest with you. Where it's like, I just had it in my hand. I literally just went in the other room. Where is it? And then I'm looking through the whole house and I'm like, when did I set this down there? I don't know. I just realized that I poured myself a glass of tea and I have no clue where that is at this point. It could be anywhere in the house. So, all right, we'll have to sort that out later. You know where it is? You know where it is? Where is it? He did just look in the kitchen. Hold on. It is in the kitchen. Look at my little smarty pants cat. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Wally solved the mystery for me. Appreciate you, buddy. Okay. Alrighty then. Let's get more cards out. Your person's honest thoughts and feelings. You've begun a new cycle for them. I want to talk about that first, because this, now that I'm taking more note of it, is such an intense message. We have the World, and then right after that is the Fool. I read the World as like angel number 999, right? Things coming to a close, things coming to completion, cycles closing out, the end of an era, the end of a chapter, in preparation for a new beginning, which is the Fool, that 000 infinite potential new beginning type of energy. So this coming out in this order as our first two cards is such an intense message, you guys. Your person feels like you help them, and since meeting you, they have closed out a very, very long karmic cycle or chapter of their life, and this connection is helping them to bring in the new, okay? Bring in the new. I don't know, maybe you found this person right after a very long-term relationship, or maybe prior to this connection, they had a lot of karmic lessons that had gone unresolved or unhealed, and maybe this connection helps both of you to heal those karmic wounds and lessons. that is very possible. Yes, there's a lot of learning that happens in this connection. Your person has learned a lot from you, okay? In a way, you've been a great teacher to them. And I think a lot of that happens energetically. It's not even conscious. It's not like you're sitting there. I just got like a comical reference to like a person like standing with a whiteboard and like one of those sticks like pointing at things, like teaching a lesson. It's not literal like that. It's just your existence and the nature of this connection is teaching them. It's forcing them to build new skills they didn't have before, particularly relationship skills. And relationship skills, you guys, not to go on another tangent, but I'm going to anyway. It's tough, you guys. I mean, I can tell you from firsthand experience, like, after I went through an end of a very, very, very long-term relationship, like I spent a couple of years being single, doing my healing, working on myself, my self-development, my personal growth journey was so important to me. I knew that in the event that I entered into a new relationship in the future, I wanted to come into that connection like with more relationship skills, right? Because there are skills there. You have to learn communication. You have to learn how to resolve conflict, this, that, and the other. I did a lot of inner work on myself and, you know, preparing myself for anything that would happen in the future. And it wasn't until I entered into an actual new relationship that I felt like all that knowledge got put to the test. And I always talk about this on the channel for a reason, because it reminds me of like, you know, studying in school. Like you go to college, you go to school, you learn things through textbooks, you learn things through, you know, that educational system, but until you're actually put out into the field and working that actual job, it's like, then you kind of get put to the real test, right? Because you're actually having to put those lessons and that knowledge into 3D action. And it can be difficult. And the same can apply to relationships. Until you're actually like immersed in the 3D experience, like that's when the real test begins in a lot of ways, right? And the reason I'm bringing that up is because it seems like your person kind of feels that way about you, where it's like now they feel like they're being put to the test and they're learning new skills that they didn't have before. They didn't have it in that past cycle. This is a new chapter where they're learning new skills. They're learning to reunite and reconcile, harmonize, and they really enjoy this relationship, this connection quite a bit because it's teaching them a lot about themselves and their own growth and what they need to work on, what they need to embrace. Okay, it's teaching them a lot, like I keep saying. And maybe they do believe in soul connections or soul contracts, and it's quite possible they believe that you came into their life exactly when you were meant to be. They might believe in fate or destiny. Really not surprised the Hierophant came out, because that's what we were just talking about. You've been like a great teacher to this person. And then I heard Teacher of Love, and I looked over in the back of the deck is the Knight of Cups. So yeah, you teach them a lot about love and romance, specifically. I'm not saying they don't learn a lot from you in other areas of their life, but when it comes to romantic love, they've learned a lot from you, okay? They're growing through this experience. I don't think this is a karmic type of connection. That's not to say that you can't learn karmic lessons from this person, but I don't think they are like a karmic to you, just to be clear. I feel like you're learning a lot, they're learning a lot, but the growth happens really quickly. It's not something that continues to stay in like this hot and cold cycle, like what typically happens in karmic connections, where it just repeats and repeats and repeats until the lesson is learned and then it eventually fizzles out. I'm not seeing this connection like fizzling out, if that makes sense, okay? And again, they think very positively about you and about this connection. They really do with the Sun card here. They have a lot of hope and optimism that this could be the one, that this could be something different than the other connections they've had in the past. It feels different. It feels good to them. All right. So what we're going to do now is get out Tiles, Charms, and Astrology dice. We'll also get out some channeled messages from your person to you in a little bit here, you guys, so stick around for that. You might see a specific names, words, zodiac placements, symbols. So feel free to bookmark this if that's important to you. And if anybody wants to comment the words or names or astrology placements they see, they're more than welcome to. I would appreciate you, and so would the collective. Okay, we have Capricorn, Mars, and Neptune. We have Virgo, Saturn, and South Node. North Node? No, South Node. Okay. We also have Leo, Sun, and Jupiter, and then we'll do one more. Whoa. We have Cancer, Venus, and North Node. Hi. I'm noticing New York right away. Somebody could be from New York. Hello. We have NYUI, YI again. We have V, we have S, and last but not least, we have a D. Somebody's name could be Sid. That is the only name I'm seeing, so you're welcome to take your time if you would like to. We have a guitar. Somebody could play the guitar, specifically the electric guitar, or really like rock music. Music could be important to this connection in general. We have an elephant. This talks about overcoming obstacles. So I feel like that definitely applies to this connection from your person's perspective. They're learning how to actually overcome obstacles, not be held back by them. We have a star. What color is that star? It's kind of like ivory, okay? I just heard somebody's favorite color could be like a nice ivory, off-white type of color. And then we also have balloons, okay? So this person feels really happy with you for the most part. I feel like they would want you to know. They're kind of like celebrating this connection being in their life in a way. It could also be confirmation. Maybe you have an anniversary or a party coming up of some kind, like some sort of festivities, all right? I am filming this, right before the big holiday season. This is a timeless reading, but if you're watching it right when it was released, that could also be talking about something important happening during like a holiday party coming up. To my knowledge, the upcoming holidays don't really have like balloons. I typically think of like a birthday party or an anniversary or something with balloons, but I don't know. Balloons might be involved. It could also just be saying there's going to be an important celebration or party coming up. Okay. All right. Let's get out some channeled messages. All right. I'm feeling called to my handmade deck today, so let's do that. What would this person say right now if they felt like they could be totally open and honest? We have forgive me. Maybe there's something your person needs to apologize for. Oh my gosh, yeah, because now we have please forgive me. As our next card, it like fell to the floor. And then also I have big news. I don't know, what does your person need forgiveness for? I don't know, there's something they hope you're like gonna forgive them for. I don't know. Weird. I wasn't getting any, I'm saying weird because like I wasn't getting any notes of that throughout the rest of the reading, but maybe they have something on their mind that they need to confess, or maybe just something that's weighing on their heart they hope the two of you can talk about. I only want you. Everything reminds me of you. We also have I love you. All right, what else? Jeez Louise. Okay, I'm grateful for the lessons, and we have a soul connection. Yeah, that's come out a lot. Your person might really believe in soul connections. That was like one of the biggest things that was coming through and through in today's reading was soul connections, soul contracts, lessons. So maybe your person believes in that and they really feel like there's something divine and fated about your love and about your connection, and they're recognizing that with you right now. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here though. Let's get out. This one wants to stay on top, so I guess we'll put that in the thumbnail because that really wants to come out. So let's get you out a couple of affirmations now. Perfect. Hold on a second, you guys. Gotcha. Okay. All right. I got distracted. Hold on. All right. So these are just for you. It doesn't have to relate to the connection at all. Your first message is gratitude. Live in thankfulness and the stars will shine brighter. With gratitude, all in your world becomes lighter. And then your affirmation, okay, is I am worthy of love. I just heard say it for the people in the back. So definitely affirm this with me. You can comment it, you can type it, you can write it, whatever you feel called to do would be fabulous. I'm going to leave this reading here though, you guys. I want to thank you so much again for joining in. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day or night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.